Hello. In 2008, a 16-year-old girl in Hong Kong suddenly disappeared. Police launched an investigation, and they eventually discovered traces of her at a pork stall in Kowloon. For a long time afterward, local residents lived in fear whenever they saw pork being sold. Rumors spread that the young girl had been working as a sex worker and had been brutally murdered. Her body was allegedly dismembered and mixed with pork to be sold in the market. Why was this young girl killed? What exactly happened? To understand the story, we must go back to April 29, 2008. April 29, 2008, a Tuesday. At the New Territories District Police Station, two worried women arrived to file a report. They were Mrs. Wong and her daughter. Mrs. Wong reported that her youngest daughter, Ka Mai Wong, a 16-year-old girl, had been missing for 3 days. At first, the family believed she might simply be staying over at a friend's house, but they had been unable to contact her. Her older sister Ping Wong added that on April 26th at around 11 p.m., she and Ka Mai were still chatting happily at home. After that, they each returned to their rooms to sleep. Nothing unusual seemed to happen. However, the next morning, Ping realized her sister was gone. No one knew when Ka Mai had left the house or where she had gone. The family explained that Ka Mai Wong once stayed overnight at her boyfriend's place. But after they broke up, she rarely stayed out overnight. Even when she came home late, she would always inform her family in advance. She had never disappeared for several days like this before. After completing the report, the two returned to home. At first, police believed this might be a typical missing teenage case. The case was officially registered and assigned to the New Territories Missing Persons Unit. The missing girl was Ka Mai Wong. She was originally from Chenzhou, Hunan. She was the second child in the family. Her older sister, Ping Wong, was 3 years older than her. Both sisters carried their mother's surname. When Ka Mai was 3 years old, her parents divorced. Later, Mrs. Wong remarried a Hong Kong man named Mr. Chan. Mr. Chan was known to be lazy and unemployed. Aside from having Hong Kong citizenship, Ka Mai felt there was nothing admirable about him. In 2005, at the age of 14, Ka Mai Wong finally moved to Hong Kong to reunite with her family. She lived with her mother, sister, and stepfather. The family was not wealthy. Mrs. Wong made a living collecting recyclables. When Ka Mai arrived in Hong Kong, she was fascinated by the bustling city. Her mother enrolled her in a local secondary school. Ping Wong studied there as well. Ka Mai was an excellent student. In 8th grade, she even won an academic award. It was given to students who performed exceptionally well in subjects like math, Chinese, or English. She also won prizes in recitation competitions in both Mandarin and English. For 2 consecutive years, she even received a scholarship from the school. However, her relationships with classmates and teachers were not very good. Many classmates thought she was introverted and stubborn. Outside of school, her relationship with her stepfather, Mr. Chan, was also very tense. The two of them argued often. In 2007, Ka Mai Wong signed up for a modeling course outside school. However, because her looks and figure were fairly ordinary, she received almost no offers for photo shoots. She lied to her family, saying that she was working as a model's assistant and earning around 20 to 30,000 Hong Kong dollars a month. But not long after that, she quit. Ka Mai Wong loved beauty, makeup, and nice clothes. She often shared clothes and shoes with her sister. The two sisters even signed up for a makeup course together, attending 3 classes a week. In January 2008, perhaps wanting to help her family and ease their financial burden, Ka Mai Wong, who was then in 10th grade, told her family that she wanted to drop out of school. Although her mother and sister tried hard to persuade her, she remained firm in her decision, believing that more schooling was pointless. In the end, Ka Mai Wong dropped out and entered the adult world. She began living a reckless lifestyle, frequenting entertainment venues and mixing with all kinds of people, even staying out overnight more than once without going home. After the case happened, police went to Ka Mai Wong's apartment in Tai Wah Estate to investigate. It was a public housing complex provided by the Hong Kong government for low-income residents, where many new immigrants lived. Ka Mai Wong lived in an apartment in Kue Wa House. Police checked the computer usage history in Ka Mai Wong's bedroom and discovered that she had been working as a sex worker. She had created an account on an adult forum, uploaded suggestive photos, and openly listed her prices. She also used 2 MSN accounts to contact clients. Records showed that on April 13th, Ka Mai Wong posted on the forum and later went out late at night to meet a client. More than a week later, someone left a review commenting on her services. At times, she also offered companionship services, such as walking around town or going shopping with clients. Contact with strangers always carried serious risks. No one could guarantee Ka Mai Wong's safety. Based on her social connections, police believed that she might be in danger after being missing for several days. Ka Mai Wong's family had absolutely no knowledge of her sex work. Ping Wong told police that the 2 sisters were very close and often confided in each other. However, at some point, Ka Mai Wong's mood began to darken. It seemed as if she were hiding something painful inside. Gradually, Ping noticed that her sister had started making many new friends outside of school, most of them adults in their 20s to 50s. Ka Mai Wong often spent evenings talking on the phone and sometimes stayed out overnight. When the family asked her about it, she only said that she was dating a boyfriend, but she never once brought him home. Ping knew that Ka Mai Wong often used MSN to chat with people online, but she simply could not believe that her younger sister was doing something like this. Normally, Ka Mai Wong only browsed beauty websites and occasionally went out for karaoke. After looking into Ka Mai Wong's relationships, police became deeply concerned for her safety. The case was quickly reported in the media in hopes of finding witnesses and leads. Then, on May 2nd, a man named Ah Bang came to the police station and said that he had met Ka Mai Wong before. Ah Bang was a programmer and could be considered one of Ka Mai Wong's regular clients. In April 2008, Ah Bang saw Ka Mai Wong's information on the forum and arranged to meet her on April 20th. He paid around 500 Hong Kong dollars for a 1-hour session. A few days later, Ah Bang wanted to meet Ka Mai Wong again, so he called her in the early morning of April 27th. The two met at Sham Shui Po MTR station. That night, Ka Mai Wong was dressed in black and carrying a yellow bag. After that, the two went to a nearby hotel. Once inside the room, Ka Mai Wong looked tired. Seeing that, Ah Bang did not sleep with her. The two lay on the bed, talked for a while, and eventually fell asleep. At 9 a.m. the next morning, the two left the hotel in Sham Shui Po and said goodbye.
This time, Ah Bang paid Ka Mai Wong 2,000 Hong Kong dollars and said he would see her again next time. Ah Bang said that after that day, whether he contacted her on MSN or called her, he could no longer reach Ka Mai Wong. It was not until May 2nd, when he saw news reports about Ka Mai Wong's disappearance in the newspaper, that Ah Bang realized something was wrong and immediately went to the police. The day Ka Mai Wong disappeared was also the day she left the hotel with Ah Bang, and Ah Bang was also the last known person to have seen Ka Mai Wong. So, Ah Bang naturally became a police suspect. However, after investigating, police confirmed that Ah Bang's statement was truthful and cleared him of suspicion. According to Ah Bang, that night in the hotel room, Ka Mai Wong confided in him that she wanted to earn money so her mother could have a better life. Ka Mai Wong had been scammed by a modeling company. Not only had she failed to make money, she also ended up owing the company 50,000 Hong Kong dollars. Later, Ka Mai Wong managed to pay back more than 50,000, but on the night of April 26th, the modeling company called again and demanded that she pay another 10,000 in interest before May. Otherwise, they would expose the fact that she had worked for them and even threatened to release explicit videos of her online. Driven into a corner, Ka Mai was forced to see more clients in order to repay the debt. Police speculated that after parting ways with Ah Bang, Ka Mai Wong went to meet another client, and that this person might have been connected to her disappearance. After checking Kamai Wong's call records, police discovered the last call she made was at 1:04 p.m. on April 27th at Sham Sui Po MTR station. The call lasted 53 seconds. The number she called was a prepaid phone number with no registered identity. According to Kamai Wong's MSN chat history, on 9:16 a.m. on April 27th, someone had arranged to meet her at Sham Sui Po MTR station at 1 p.m. that same day. That person instructed Kamai Wong to call when she arrived, and then he would come to the station to pick her up. The number he left behind matched the exact number that Kamai Wong called for the last time. Through the IP address, police traced the MSN messages to a computer inside Yan Fat building on Shek Kip Mei Street, not far from Sham Sui Po MTR station. A week later, on May 6th, a 30-year-old man named Ah Tak came to the police station looking terrified. Ah Tak said that Kamai Wong might have been killed by his friend, 24-year-old Kai Tai Ting. Ah Tak and Kai Tai Ting had known each other and become close friends years earlier when they worked at a late-night restaurant. Although they no longer worked together, the two still kept in frequent contact. Ah Tak said that on the night of April 26th, he and Kai Tai Ting had gone out together to a bar in Sim Sai Chu. Kai Tai Ting not only drank alcohol, but also used meth. The two stayed at the bar until 7 a.m. the next morning before leaving. On the night of April 27th, between 9:25 and 11:25, Ah Tak received 3 consecutive calls from Kai Tai Ting. On the phone, Kai Tai Ting said that he had killed a girl. Kai Tai Ting claimed that while he was having sex with her, the girl kept saying she wanted to die. For reasons he could not explain, he strangled her to death. After that, he dismembered the body and disposed of it. He even described the girl's body, saying there was a lot of fat inside and that he did not want to look at her face, so he peeled off the skin from her face and hid the victim's bones in a container of pork bones at a pork stall. Kai Tai Ting's confession shocked the police. Even so, he still couldn't believe his friend had really killed someone. He assumed Kai Tai Ting was rambling after using drugs. Later, the two met a few more times, and Kai Tai Ting insisted that everything he had said on the phone had only been a joke. However, in the days that followed, Ah Tak remained haunted by it. Then, when he saw the news about Kamai Wong's disappearance, he realized that the victim's description and the timeline matched what Kai Tai Ting had said on the phone. Ah Tak began to suspect the worst and decided to report everything to the police. Based on Ah Tak's statement, police concluded that Kamai Wong's disappearance was far more serious than it first appeared. The case was then handed over to the West Kowloon Major Crime Unit for further investigation. Investigators found that Kai Tai Ting's home address matched the IP address previously traced from the MSN messages. That same night, the Major Crime Unit set up surveillance near Yan Fat building where Kai Tai Ting lived. His apartment was located in Mao House inside that building. At 11 p.m., Kai Tai Ting appeared in the darkness. The officers rushed in, subdued him, and took him back to the station. During questioning, Kai Tai Ting claimed he had an accomplice, a friend named Wei Zi, who had helped him dispose of the body. Police then arrested Wei Zi as well. Police searched Kai Tai Ting's apartment in Yan Fat building and found blood that had not been fully cleaned away in the bathroom, the floor, walls, door frame, and the shower curtain. Bloodstains were also found on the computer desk, the chair, and the bedroom carpet. Even a CD left inside the drive had blood on it. DNA testing showed that all of the blood belonged to Kamai Wong. It was now clear that this apartment was the murder scene. During questioning, Kai Tai Ting admitted that he had killed Kamai Wong and thrown her body into the sea near Kowloon Pier. At 8 a.m. the next morning, a team of officers escorted Kai Tai Ting to the location he said he disposed of the body, the coastal area near Kowloon Pier. By 3 p.m., divers had searched the seabed twice but found nothing. At that point, Kai Tai Ting changed his account. He said that he had dismembered Kamai Wong, thrown only her head into the sea, and cut the rest of her body into pieces, which he flushed down the toilet.
Some of the bones, he said, were taken to a pork stall in Shek Kip Mei and mixed in with pork bones there. The killer's confession shocked the police. Since more than 10 days had already passed, some of the bones may have already been sold to customers. To escape responsibility, rumors claimed that Kai Tai Ting and Wei Zi had dismembered the victim and disposed of the remains in the sea and at the pork stall. However, after investigating, police confirmed that this information was false. At the time of the crime, Wei Zi had a reliable alibi. Wei Zi was not involved in the case and did not help Kai Tai Ting dispose of the body, despite Kai Tai Ting's initial statement. After further investigation, police were able to piece together part of what had happened. Early that morning, after leaving the bar at 7 a.m., Kai Tai Ting continued using drugs. After returning to his apartment, he was still too wired to sleep. While high, Kai Tai Ting contacted Kamai Wong. A little after 1 p.m., the two met. Kai Tai Ting brought Kamai Wong back to his apartment. There, the two used drugs together and then had sex. At around 3 p.m., Kai Tai Ting woke up.
He was horrified to find Kamai Wong lying motionless on the bed, blood foam at her mouth, her body cold. She was dead. Kai Tai Ting realized he had killed someone, but he claimed he could not clearly remember the details. He only recalled strangling the victim for about 1 to 2 minutes. At first, Kai Tai Ting was terrified when faced with Kamai Wong's death. But after only 5 to 10 minutes of panic, a plan to dismember and dispose of the body came to mind. Kai Tai Ting chose dismemberment because he believed it would make the crime harder to detect. It took him 6 hours to dismember Kamai Wong. Draining the blood alone took 10 to 15 minutes. While handling the body, he realized that skinning and cutting away flesh at the same time was difficult, so he decided to remove the skin first and then cut away the flesh, like butchering a pig. To avoid clogging the toilet, he cut the body into small pieces and flushed them in batches. When dealing with the fingers and toes, each time he discarded one, he flushed once to make sure it went down completely. By then, at 10 p.m., Kai Tai Ting began dealing with the bones that could not be flushed, such as the arm bones, leg bones, and spine. He decided to strip off all remaining flesh so they would no longer resemble human bones and could later be mixed in more easily with pork bones. Next, he took the victim's head onto a bus, rowed to Kowloon Pier, and threw it into the sea. Other than the head, which was dumped in the sea, the remaining body parts were split into 2 portions by Kai Tai Ting and discarded at a pork stall in the Shek Kip Mei market. Before his arrest, Kai Tai Ting continued living normally, eating, drinking, and going out. During that time, he made several phone calls to Ah Tak, and that is ultimately what helped police find him. Police asked Kai Tai Ting whether he had ever worked in anatomy-related jobs or as a butcher, or whether he had photographed the dismemberment process, but he denied all of it. Every move Kai Tai Ting made seemed carefully calculated. Even the reason he took the victim's head onto a bus to dispose of it and then took another bus home afterward had its logic. He believed that bus passengers were less likely to be checked by police, which would reduce the risk as much as possible. After Kai Tai Ting was arrested, psychiatrists from Castle Peak Hospital came to evaluate him. Kai Tai Ting said that he had received psychiatric treatment at age 8, began buying sex at age 15 or 16, began using drugs in late 2001, and began viewing pornography in 2002. Some experts pointed out that if Kai Tai Ting's account was true, then he might have experienced automatism caused by drug use. Automatism is a rare form of seizure disorder. It can involve simple or complex actions that are involuntary, happening during or after a seizure while the person is in a confused state and has no memory of those actions at all. However, according to the director of the hospital's Substance Abuse Treatment Center, there has been no medical literature documenting that abuse of methamphetamine can cause automatism. So, Kai Tai Ting's claim that he remembered nothing about the killing may have been a lie. During the dismemberment, small body parts were flushed down the toilet many times. Wastewater from the building flowed through the Chung Sa Wan pumping station and several settling tanks before being sent to the New Tao Kok sewage treatment plant.
That facility processed millions of cubic meters of wastewater every day for the harbor area before releasing it into the sea. After treatment, the wastewater was discharged into the ocean. Those facilities operated 24 hours a day. Searching for human remains inside such a complex sewage system was like looking for a needle in a haystack. However, some residents living near the crime scene had recently reported a foul odor like a dead rat coming from a drain used by a real estate office and a jeans shop on the ground floor of the building. After receiving the report, police contacted the drainage service to assist with the investigation. On May 8th, drainage service staff began searching for body parts in the drainage pipe and nearby manholes close to the crime scene. When they tapped on one of the drainage pipes, they heard an unusual sound and suspected that something was blocking it. The next evening, they made a breakthrough. From mud dredged up from a manhole pit, they found more than 20 pieces of flesh believed to be human. DNA testing later confirmed that the flesh belonged to Kamai Wong. As for the victim's head, although police expanded the search across the seabed near Kowloon Pier, they still found nothing. The killer, Kai Tai Ting, was nicknamed Fat Boy Tai. He was 24 years old, 1.78 meters tall, and weighed 95 kilograms. He was born in Hong Kong and was the second child in a family of 4 siblings. Kai Tai Ting was a rebellious child who often caused trouble and got into fights. At the age of 5, during a family trip in mainland China, Kai Tai Ting was involved in a serious car accident. The accident left him with a brain injury and forced him to witness his mother's death. After the accident, relatives blamed Kai Tai Ting's father for causing his mother's death. 2 years later, Kai Tai Ting's father remarried and the family moved to Nam San Estate. His stepmother and the children got along quite well. At age 8, because of his bad temper and learning difficulties, Kai Tai Ting was taken to a hospital for psychiatric evaluation. After he was diagnosed with a mood disorder, Kai Tai Ting was sent to a special school for children with disabilities. At age 15, after assaulting someone, Kai Tai Ting was sent to a juvenile correctional facility for counseling. Kai Tai Ting dropped out of school in 6th grade. After that, he worked as a delivery worker for a late-night restaurant. He also apprenticed in air conditioning installation with a cousin at a construction site. Drawn to the outside world, Kai Tai Ting gradually fell into bad habits. He once took drugs until he vomited and had a nosebleed, but he loved the feeling of exhilaration the drug gave him. Kai Tai Ting threw himself into a reckless, hedonistic lifestyle. Even after getting a girlfriend, he still wandered around looking for prostitutes. According to the owner of the late-night restaurant where Kai Tai Ting once worked, his income at the time was just over 4,000 Hong Kong dollars. He only worked there for half a year before quitting. With his bleached blonde hair and heavy build, people called him Fat Boy Tai. Kai Tai Ting often bragged about his encounters with prostitutes. He also got into arguments with others over money. The way he behaved was no different from a thug. Some former co-workers said Kai Tai Ting loved showing off and boasting, was lazy, and only wanted pleasure. He spent money recklessly and then turned to borrowing from friends. Kai Tai Ting was always looking for a fast way to make money. He once borrowed 60,000 Hong Kong dollars from a finance company and spent it all in a short time. Later, he borrowed another 200,000 Hong Kong dollars from the same company. When he could not repay it, debt collectors came directly to his home. In the end, he was forced to move to hide from his debts. In the eyes of his close friend, Ah Tok, Kai Tai Ting was a clever man, but hot-tempered, easily irritated, and often foul-mouthed. In June 2007, when Kai Tai Ting was 23 years old, he rented an apartment on the 2nd floor of Yan Fat Building on Shik Kip Mei Street for 2,000 Hong Kong dollars per month. A year later, that apartment became the scene of a horrifying murder. 1 year after the crime, in July 2009, the trial was held at the High Court of Hong Kong. The defendant, Kai Tai Ting, was charged with murder and preventing the lawful burial. At trial, Kai Tai Ting admitted to the acts he had committed. After 6 days of proceedings, the court delivered the verdict. Kai Tai Ting was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. For preventing the lawful burial, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison. The overall sentence remained life imprisonment. That same year, in November, Ah Tok, the close friend who reported Kai Tai Ting's crime and helped police solve the case,
was invited to attend the 2009 Outstanding Citizen Award ceremony. When receiving the award, Ah Tok was deeply emotional. He was the only recipient who did not feel happy. Ah Tok said, "My feelings are very complicated. He, meaning Kai Tai Ting, really did kill someone. Sometimes I wish I could have saved her." In 2015, the film Port of Call, adapted from this case, was released. Once again, it sparked a new wave of public debate. Even now, some questions about the case remain unanswered. Did Kai Tai Ting really commit the crime while in an unconscious or altered state? If not, what was his true motive for killing her? Perhaps only Kai Tai Ting himself knows the truth. The Ka Mai Wong case came to an end, but it left the people of Hong Kong with lasting shock and trauma. The image of that schoolgirl with her bright smile and her hopes for a better life was forever cut short in that cold apartment. Her tragic death stands as a warning about the traps lurking within a prosperous society, where bright lights can never fully hide the darkness underneath. Kai Tai Ting paid for his brutal crime behind bars, but no sentence can truly ease the pain and loss suffered by Ka Mai Wong's family. This heartbreaking story also sends a plea to every family. Show children more love, understanding, and compassion, because only love is strong enough to guide young hearts through temptation and toward a brighter future. Perhaps somewhere in heaven, Ka Mai Wong has finally found peace, release, and freedom from the exhausting struggle of life. That's all for today's video. See you again in the next video. Goodbye.